Okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Satyajit Sinha. I'm a principal analyst from IoT Analytics. We are a market intelligence provider. Today, we're going to discuss the design in for IoT manufacturing. Just to make me clarify, it's all about design of the IoT devices we're going to talk about. We have a wonderful panel. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Xavier DUPONT. I'm from RAKwireless. So we are doing products and services, products, multi-technology module, as well as platform and services. We help manufacturing and some designs for our customer with multiple facilities.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liliane Paradise from Miromico. I'm in the role of COO, and we are an engineering design house really specialized in IoT and embedded systems. We also offer a product portfolio which consists of wireless modules, connectivity cards, gateways, and of course also end nodes, which can really easily be customized also for our customers.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Gavin Brown from RAKwireless. RAKwireless is a quite unique business. We're in the networking space, specifically LoRaWAN. We design and manufacture gateways and also modules to enable our customers to develop their own end devices. And also quite uniquely, we also have our own range of end devices. So we're deeply in the manufacturing and physical product space.
Great. I'm going to, this question for all of you, but you can start the answering. But the question is like, we want to understand from IoT manufacturing, which design elements must be addressed and which are non-negotiable to ensure the device reliability and performance.
Wow, big and deep question. Yeah, we're talking about the T in IoT is the thing. Yeah, the thing. We're talking about wireless of any kind. But we're here mostly LoRaWAN, I suppose.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, the non-negotiable, I think is one of the topics, one of the things, is to solve that wireless piece.
Yeah.
Because wireless is magic, but it's not magic. True. You can get it wrong and you can get it right. Yeah. So having a focus on that is very, very key. And have some respect that it's very deeply linked to every single domain. In that development. There's many domains in the physical product space. You have hardware, industrial design, manufacturing, you name it. We can go on a big long list. So, non-negotiable is put the right amount of value in the right place to achieve the success that you want.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so for us, of course, we're a Swiss-based company. We all know Switzerland stands for quality. And for us, that's really non-negotiable. And the challenge there is we are talking about products that should go to the market in a rush. We have very short time to market, but we are designing products that for industries that are very conservative. They are used to having devices that last for 20 plus years, maybe mechanical devices even. So we are in a rush to bring something of high quality to the market. And what's often missing in IoT projects is a proper industrialization, a proper device qualification. And in that case, then you will not be able to scale up. And that's why we really invested a lot of time in device testing, but also production testing. And we learned that only 100% device testing will lead to actual quality.
Yeah, makes sense. Xavier?
Well, on my side, I see when we take a project, we see that customer that's how I pitch IoT, that 80% of the IoT project don't go beyond proof of concepts.
Yeah.
And I identify two areas where our customer fail. Number one is specification, number two is industrialization.
Yeah.
So, and on the specification, like you said in the previous panel, it's about the field, the application where it goes.
Correct.
How do we fit and how do we learn the domain of the customer and we feed the right spec with the right price expectation.
Correct.
I think this is a part non-negotiable. If we don't have this, we don't have a business.
Yeah. As I'm with you, I'm very interesting to understand SG Wireless is known for multi-radio capability.
Right.
And I'm pretty big fan of that. But I want to understand when you design this multi-radio capability in a module form factor, what are the key challenges you face and how do you solve these challenges?
I think the multi-modules are, we have to admit that there will be some cases only which will need that.
Sure.
Now, we like to start with the multi-radio modules because most of the time the customer don't come from wireless. You will have to discover what works best into its application, whether it's to receiving the data in a certain frame or timeline. Then some technologies might be better than others. So I would tend to say this is where we try to focus.
Yeah, makes sense. Liliane, I think Miromico is one of the only companies, one of few of companies who worked on NB-IoT, LoRaWAN, and cellular. And years ago, me and you had a discussion on how you redesign these devices. I want to understand what are the key challenges you face among these three technologies and how you overcome with that.
So what we do at Miromico, we always want to enable as many technologies as possible. That's why we have also hybrid gateways that offer, for example, LoRaWAN and NB-IoT. And you even get to, with our newest generation, you get to choose a third technology. And one of the main challenges actually was compliance.
Correct.
Because we're talking about ISM bands, we have duty cycle limitations.
Correct.
So now you're in one box, and LoRaWAN and NB-IoT, they have to share one duty cycle. But these systems, of course, were not designed in an interoperable way. So you have to build an additional layer. We call it the duty cycle daemon. An additional service that runs in order to mediate these. And of course, you have to prioritize. You have to say, in case of a collision, who will go first? Because obviously also if you're sending at the same time, then you will not just disturb the others, but also basically disturb yourself.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Kevin, I think I can quote you on this, that hardware is more than PCB. And
definitely, yeah.
And so want to understand what are the simple or methods that keep mechanics, RF antennas, environment enclosures, and certification testing integrated from day one by designing these products.
Oh wow, that's the solution I'm trying to solve my whole life. Getting everybody involved from the very beginning and respecting that everybody's domain is related, deeply related. So yeah, it's just the thing is beyond the PCB. That's what we see a lot because we're a module manufacturer. We see many customers who come to the table with a PCB and nothing else has been considered. So it's avoiding that at all costs. Just respect that the end goal is the finished product and every domain that makes that product must be consulted, must be a stakeholder, and every detail must be considered. So it's just respect for that process and the team effort. No matter if it's an internal team or external supply chain, engage with everybody. Everybody has some involvement, and at the end of the day, it's a balance of compromise.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to quickly jump to you on this because I know you have a ODM specification there, and so if you can want to add something, Xavier, there.
No, for sure. In terms of picking the right partner and technology, so no, it's really key to get started from the very early beginning. I saw that lots of use cases actually there was a misfit and misunderstanding of the field. I was quoting last year always my case with the Department of Transport in New York, which wrongly specified the power supply, and they had 100 breakdown every week. And each of them were costing a fortune to update. So understanding this, not compromising on quality hardware clearly, and firmware integration. I still see that some customer design without the capability to update the firmware, which generally I always say the problem comes when you reach 1,000 units on the field, and if you don't have a firmware update, then your project is dead, basically.
Great.
I have one example.
Go ahead.
One example that can demonstrate sort of a bad integration with these different stakeholders and good integration. So we have one customer who's a water meter manufacturer, and they finished their product. They had horrible performance. They had a 2-kilometer range LoRaWAN device. They came to us to help with, can we help? We need a better antenna. They recognized that. We said, oh, you're too late, but we'll try. We'll give it a go. So we redesigned the antenna. it's the worst possible time to redesign an antenna when you've already finished and tooled. So anyway, we gave it a go, but we had some success. We took the device range from 2 kilometers to 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
Massive difference. And we only changed the antenna through very clever design. To me, that's too much compromise. So that's a kind of a medium failure come success story. But the opposite side of that was starting from the very beginning. We had one customer in the same industry, also a water meter. They collaborated with us and wider experts, and the antenna was designed in collaboration with the whole system, the whole product, and the deployment scenario. Yeah. And that customer, they got a range of 63 kilometers.
Nice.
So that's the point. If you get it right first time, start from the beginning with everybody, there can be a massive difference in the credibility or the scalability and the success of the product.
Great.
Because everything is linked.
Yeah. I mean, great example, and that's lead to my next question, which is also makes totally sense that some of the choices we make during the designing of this product are important because it leads to a lock-in of some of the things that you're going to add on. Which are the early decisions should set because they determine the rest of the designing step? Any example you have on that?
Sorry, what was the...
I mean, we have a lot of decision making during the designing, right? Some of them will lead to a lock-in will decide the rest of the architecture, how it will go.
Yeah.
And so what are those ones? And if you have any examples that what are those early decision makers that will set the pace for the whole design?
I'll stay on the RF topic for now because it's quite close to me with the work I do with the team and customers. So that's a lock-in with people making poor design decisions early on, committing too much too early, or assuming that these things are magic and they just happen, or they can be fixed later with some salt and pepper, So, it's the examples are the antenna. It's poor architectural decisions in the electromechanical strategy in architecture, which means that something will be compromised beyond what they realize, and they're too far down. So it's just take a step back, engage with everybody, recognize what are the difficult things to fix later. Some things are easy to fix, like, I want a red enclosure or a yellow enclosure. Maybe they're easy to solve later. But big things, deal with them in the beginning. Get everybody on the same table.
Liliane, you want to add something on that?
Actually, I have a point to add to the enclosure. We did have some customers that in the last stage decided to change from a light enclosure to a dark. It had coal particles mixed in, and suddenly, oh no, my devices have no range anymore. What happens? So even the point is even small changes can have a big impact. You might think you're just fixing cosmetics. And I would like to stay with that RF topic. And I agree with you a lot that it's all about the design decisions. And what's really important, in our opinion, is to start thinking about the manufacturing and the supply chain early. For example, you do a very poor choice of layer stack of the PCB. For those of who are a bit aware of RF, you will match your impedance to the layer stack. Now, if you have a PCB that can only be manufactured by 2 PCB manufacturers in the world, if these won't be able to supply you, you won't have a product. And these are the very small things that will make a difference when you want to do an actual ramp up.
Interesting. Xavier?
Thank you. I would be more referring to the use case. I can give an example. We got recently from a fridge manufacturer. He started this project around 1.5 years ago. We specify and we try to define the use case, meaning how much data you send. Then starting to decide which radio to use, etc. So we did this one, and of course during the year a bit of a change of strategy. We need to get bigger. So suddenly you want to put a camera and RFID tag on the thing which was supposed to just manage a fridge. Then we are in the middle of the process. So it's really about locking the use case. I would tend to say to and trying to match this, and that's where there is a little bit of magic. The costs, let's say the price expectation of the customer and the performance. And then talking a bit about which technology fits best for what.
Makes sense. So mainly for large scale project, this will make more sense to have this, application based specific requirement and then designing.
Yes. Admitting also that you don't know what you don't know when you are into innovation, which is what our customers are often doing. And we have to some ways move by iteration. So that's a tough one.
Great. Okay, so
Can I add one point?
Please go ahead.
We had very similar experiences, and the customer kept on adding features and features and features. I guess you had the same issues. And in the end, it's not so much about needing anymore, it's about wanting.
Yeah.
And then you will have a huge discrepancy between the cost of the device and the wished feature sets.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important thing we can do to educate the customers and to guide them about what is actually needed for the use case, to do some use case coaching before you just add all the sparkling features and then you have, like, in German we call it die eierlegende Wollmilchsau. It basically means a cow that can also give wool and eggs, and that's what you don't want to build.
Makes sense. Now, as we are in topic of design, this is something very important to discuss, which is security by design, and which is right now being a very interesting topic. And specifically, we see EU Red Directive, CRA, NIS2, NIST guidelines. There are changes happening at the design stage, and it's good to have those changes. But I want to understand from you guys, what are you experiencing and seeing in the market? What changes you guys have to make now, or you are implementing before, but it makes more sense now due to these regulations coming, and specifically for security purpose? You can go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, of course, we have to discriminate a little bit between the end devices and the gateways.
Yeah.
We definitely had to change our view on security. Our new gateway generations all have a TPM. We had to take care of all the topics like having a CA to get the birth certificates onto the devices. And then, of course, on the end device side, we had to deal with FOTA or updates through side channels like BLE.
Yeah.
And now we still have 2 years, but I think it's now the time to really prepare for it, because these changes, they will take a lot of time to properly test them.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, Gavin.
So yeah, from our side, it's a very similar story, being a gateway manufacturer and a module manufacturer. And we are seeding the market, the end device market. A lot of our customers are asking for help and guidance, but the RAD directives was kind of mature. The CRAs are new and mysterious.
Correct.
We're all seeking clarifications.
Yeah.
So we're all moving as we grow together and move together. But it's definitely creating a lot of pressure in the design phase. We will have to realize how, we don't know what we don't know in this regulatory space. So careful decisions now can give us space later to move into that world when it comes along in 2 years, because some products being designed now could take 2 years to be finished, and by the time they go live, it's like, are we aligned? It's quite challenging, but just recognition that it's happening, make adjustments, whether it's strategic design decisions, working with partners, suppliers, compliance experts, just to respect that everything's connected, just every detail, just think it through, basically.
Correct. Yeah, Xavier.
Thank you. On my side, I see two parts. I see the part, of course, cyber on the products and, let's say, the education which we need to have with the customer in a context where all this is starting to be implemented. So on the product, of course, on our multi-technology modules, we have a TPM, which helps us to trigger the discussion, because in the end, cyber only makes sense on a solution, on a system.
Yep.
So if you just look at the hardware, you can be compliant, but there's no system implemented, you will never be qualified.
Yeah.
And just starting with the customer to talk about this and his own understanding what he's implementing, so it fits in the big picture of cyber for our customer.
Correct. So I have one question for you. Feel free to join if you want to answer. But this is the favorite topic, I guess, for you, the redesigning. And we had discussing this, that technology is changing, or someone is switching from partner to partner. It is becoming very, very common in the IoT industry now. Do you want to talk about that?
No, for sure. I mean, that's what we see a lot with our customer. First, doing design for our customer, how we did it at core, we are a manufacturer. We have 4 facilities in the world, in Mexico, UK, Malaysia, and China. And of course, with what happened since since January, with Mr. Trump, lots of our customers are being lost on the production sites. So hopefully with our setup, for example, we could move quickly customers from China to Mexico. in order for them to avoid some of the challenges. So yeah, for us, being multi-sites is quite critical, and to help the customer. And on the redesign, of course, we see that some vendors from different regions, China, has been in the blacklisted a lot in many products.
Correct.
And all our customers, they want to focus on the new products. Having, let's say, for an engineering team, having to redesign is always a pain. And that's where, of course, as a CM, we can do a bit of this, changing core components.
Correct. Makes sense.
And building up, of course, then the right relationship.
Correct.
We will be announcing some more partnerships soon, one with STMicro. And typically, you need to have some of the partners which fits the market that you address.
Correct. You want to add anything, Liliane, Gavin, redesign?
Redesign.
Yeah.
Redesign is just the kind of the worst thing that could ever happen to many of our customers, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Just build upon the kind of advice and the strategies and the thinking that we've mentioned. You can avoid that. The redesign in my domain, it's because of an error, a mistake, an avoidable error, some mistake that could have been avoided that can be very costly. Then it starts to play into the 80% that fail kind of game. So a lot of this stuff can help things succeed. So yeah, avoid redesign. Think of it as the worst thing ever. What can I do to avoid the redesign? Build upon guarantees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I would agree there, and one way we use with our customers to avoid redesign is to actually do, that's a bit contradicting, but we actually like to do very small design iterations, but then only the parts that might be unclear or that might really need to be prototyped will be built in very short iterations, and when we put it together and when we think about a product, we know we will nail it the first time.
Yeah, okay.
And one more important factor I would like to add here is the supply chain, because for our customers, COVID was the time where we had to do redesigns, not because of errors, but because of, not even, sometimes we were redesigning boards because a timing element was not available on the market. And there we also really learned just go with standards, go with standard footprint, standardized components as much as you can, because if you have something one of its kind, it might be very cool, but you might end up regretting it a lot later.
Correct. Thank you for your insights. It was very interesting discussion, and thank you guys for joining. Feel free to reach out to our panelists. It was thank you.